Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show.
Connery Curious!
Saga, The Last Crusade, You Only Live Twice, and the Anderson Tapes, Murder on the Orient Express. You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marty and a woman of straw, and a wounded man in Africa. We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Oof. Mario Lima.
Dylan Titus.
I'm exhausted. I don't know how we escaped from that prison with that big hill, but we did it. I don't know how, and we'll never speak of how ever again.
Yeah,
And it's important. I'm sure it'll come into play in some future film that we watch, that it's really important that we never discuss how we escaped from
Yes,
that prison.
absolutely. Where are we? It's like we're in the middle of nowhere here.
Yeah, well, that's where that prison was. But thankfully, right outside of that prison is they keep the reason that you were jailed there for. So, forgive me, I'm delirious from this heat. I can't think straight. But so if you stole something, when you go to this prison, they keep the thing that you stole there at the prison.
Oh no.
I don't know why. Some kind of psychological thing. So it was, come to our surprise, we find that once we escape the prison, waiting outside the gates were just the dead bodies of that waiter that was very much like Sean Connery, and that the woman bringing around the treats on the trolley. Is that who that was?
Yes.
I don't know, but either way, I'm tired of hauling these dead bodies through the desert. Oh.
Well, maybe we should.
This heat is excruciating.
This might be a mirage, but I think I see a cave up ahead.
Oh, shelter.
Oh,
Shelter and a
perfect.
place to hide if there's any people on the lookout for us.
Let's get in there. Okay. I'll drag. All right.
Okay. Ooh, this cave is very spooky.
But also very well lit for some reason.
Yeah. It's like a 1980s heavy metal album cover.
Holy diver.
Like, did you ever see the power metal album art from Metallica? Look up Metallica power metal. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh, luckily I keep that CD in my back pocket.
Yeah, well, but because, so we didn't lose it, we strapped it to the dead body.
Yes. Wow.
So let me
This looks like this cave. Do you think
Doesn't it? Doesn't it look like that cave?
Do you think
this cave?
Do you think this cave belongs to Metallica?
I think this cave might belong to Metallica. They're a business at this point more than a band, I think, and they could be investing in caves.
Why not?
Why not? They have like beer and cigars and shit. So
Why not caves?
yeah, caves. They're where you're for your man cave, Anyway, I'm exhausted from dragging these dead bodies.
And
Mario, I think do you think there's any way to clear our name so we don't have to be on the run anymore?
I don't know, man. This is been a very stressful few episodes where we just dealt with these dead bodies and
We've been blamed for their deaths. We didn't kill them.
We didn't even do it. We still have no idea who did it.
But how?
done
There's
it.
literally no. How are we gonna clear our name? There's no way to clear our name unless we can bring these people back from the dead to say who attacked them.
I
To
wish,
solve the murder on the Orient Express train.
I wish we could revive them somehow. If only there was a plot device.
Did somebody say plot device?
Oh, who's that? Who is that?
It's me, a dragon.
Hold on. Turn on the lights. It's too dimly
Oh my
lit.
god, it's a dragon. This is Mario. I'm scared. I'm very scared of dragons.
Oh my god, is it?
It is I, Dragon.
Wait, should we kneel? Oh, I think we should kneel, Dylan. Dylan, kneel.
I don't know. We can't see him. Should we? I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm so scared, Mario.
What do you want from us, dragon?
I don't know. What are you doing here?
We're seeking shelter. We're on the run with these 2 dead bodies that were
Dead bodies, you say?
Yes, they were murdered, and we were blamed for their
Did you
murder.
murder them?
No, we didn't murder them. We didn't.
You've murdered many of my kind before.
We've never murdered a dragon. What are you talking about?
Well, somebody did.
Who? Maybe.
I don't. I'm off track. It's deliriously hot in
Is
here.
right? Maybe.
Yes, that's
the
what I get
person-
for lighting fires everywhere.
Oh, you're lighting the fires.
Yes, not Jim Morrison. I tell you that. I've been listening to the Doors a lot in my man cave. It's my dragon cave.
Oh, we thought this was
Oh,
Metallica's
let me come
cave.
out so you can see me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my god,
goodness.
Mario. He's 2 feet tall.
Look
at him. He's adorable.
Don't mock me like that.
I'm not mocking you. That's a compliment.
You're like Spyro the Dragon. You're adorable.
Well, I do like Spyro the Dragon. I play that on my PS2.
You have a PS2 in here?
Yes. There's no other models past that, as far as I know.
There's quite a few.
Nope. We're in the past, Mario.
Okay. But
It's-
anyways,
at least the power metal album by Metallica has come out. That's where we are, at least chronologically, time-wise, which means we could be anywhere after 1982.
Mr. Dragon, is there some way you can help us out here?
With what?
Like maybe clear. You seem like a smart dragon. You think you could help us?
Oh, I'm the smartest dragon.
Maybe
I'm
you
very intelligent. I was I was voted most intelligent in my dragon class.
Wow. Out of how many dragons?
17.
Wow, goodness.
Yes. 100.
That's a lot of dragons. But anyways,
Oh, it's a
is
lot
there,
of dragons.
But
you've killed them all.
we didn't kill the dragons.
Okay, I believe you.
Okay, but is
So
there a
you,
way?
you two sissies seem like you couldn't kill a fly.
Well, thank
well,
you.
that's just mean, Mr. Dragon. That's mean. You don't need to be mean like that.
Well, I'm voiced by Sean Connery. What do you expect? I'm gonna speak down to men who I don't respect.
Well, I understand that. Yeah, I get it.
It's,
You know,
fair-
we're
fair.
not worthy of Sean Connery's respect. I get it. We're podcast hosts. We're not as accomplished as you, Mr. Connery Dragon. I'm assuming you've all the same acting credits as Sean Connery.
Yes, I'm his understudy.
Wow.
This is. I'm going delirious from this heat, Mario.
I think, Mr. Dragon, is it okay if we like podcast here for a few minutes? We need
Of
like.
course. Oh, you've got some dead bodies there. I just noticed them. I'm sure I noticed them earlier, but I'm just noticing them again now, I think. I don't know. I'm a dragon.
Could you?
I
like,
think if I spit my nostril booger fire into their soul, I think I can bring them back to life to you.
Really?
And maybe they can tell you who killed them. And maybe they can tell me who killed my dragons.
Oh, Mr. Dragon.
My family, I mean.
That would be fantastic if you could do that.
Yes. Give me 45 minutes.
Okay, we'll come back to
Yes.
this. Is it okay with podcast while you do your fire booger thing?
I might need longer than that. I don't know. It's a complicated process. I know it seemed quick in the movie you're about to discuss, but it's really much, much more complicated. If they showed the whole scene, well, the movie would have been 5 hours long.
Fair enough.
Yes.
But anyways,
I'm a dragon. I'm a little dragon. I'm a very tiny dragon. Yes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dragon. We're gonna go podcast over here in the corner. Is that cool?
Yes.
Well,
Well, there's no corners, really. It's lots of round areas of rock cave and cave rock. You know, there's a picnic table I installed over there.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes, it is. I carved it myself.
Well, in that case, come on, Dylan. Let's go hang out and record our podcast here while Mr. Dragon takes care of these bodies.
That sounds good to me, man. Thankfully, I've still got our cups and our phonograph machine.
Yeah, thank God we made that portable.
Yeah.
Wait, you're still using cups and a phonograph machine? Here, take this. It's an iPhone.
Oh my goodness.
It's the latest in cellular technology. You can record your voice memo of some kind on it. You can use that. Go ahead, take that.
I think this is an iPod Touch, Mr. Dragon.
Either way, it's got the voice memo function. But there's no other models after the PS2.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm gonna go play my Nintendo Switch. And I'll get back to curing these dead bodies of their death after I play a sweet round of From Russia with Love.
I didn't know that came on Nintendo Switch.
You don't know shit, boy. That's why I don't respect you. I'm Sean Connery. I don't respect you or your silent partner over there. Who's not saying very much for some unknown reason. I don't understand why.
He's quiet
Well,
sometimes.
It's because I've got my drinks.
Where'd you get those drinks, Dylan? I've been thirsty.
Oh, I provided drinks. I'm a generous host in my cave. I never let anyone go without drinks. It's hot in here. Why would you not want a nice champagne glass of milk?
Thank you very
And
much.
as we all know from The Cat in the Hat, milk was a bad choice.
I think that was Anchorman, Mr. Dragon.
I was skimming through a DVD copy of The Cat in the Hat earlier today, and I saw that he did not enjoy drinking milk.
He is. It gums the works.
Yes. And he had lawyers, I believe. Anyway, off to play the video game, then cure your bodies of death.
Thank you, Mr. Dragon.
Okay. There are also no guarantees that it'll work, or I'll even do it.
Oh, well, that's
I may get preoccupied with these video games.
well, that's
Just like you boys are getting preoccupied with the sketch.
okay. Fine. Well, we'll talk to you in like 45 to 50 minutes.
All right, love you.
Thank you.
Wow, that was a weird dragon, Mario.
He was kind of cool.
I know, I dig it. He was really cool.
Anyways, Dylan Titus.
Mario Lima.
This is Connery Curious.
Connery Curious, the Connery Curious podcast. I'm already liking recording into this iPhone more than those cups that we were recording on.
The quality has gone up already.
Yeah, and we don't need a mouse to run it. Oh, something just popped up. Low power mode. 10% left.
Oh, no.
10% battery. Whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be
we'll make
fine.
it work. Okay. How you doing today, Mario?
I'm doing swell, but even better because we're here together to talk about. I'm excited about this one. 1996.
1996's. We just said that at the same time.
We did. Jinx, you owe me a milk champagne thing.
Oh, here, you can just have mine.
Oh, thanks.
Wait.
Oh, sorry. Was I not allowed to
Oh.
drink it?
No, I wanted one more sip.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
Okay, thank you. Refreshing. But anyways,
Very refreshing.
1990
A thick glass of milk when you're in the bowels of hell.
it's very refreshing. but 1996's Dragonheart is our movie this week.
Dragonheart.
Dragonheart. That's I'm super excited about. Dennis Quaid, Sean Connery, Dina Meyer, David Thewlis. We got a lot
Thewlis, I
of
think?
Thewlis. I always call him that's Professor Lupin from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Which had
And Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, it was so funny because we kept on like I watched this with my wife Alicia, and we were talking about. I was like, I think that Lupin is in this movie, and then she's like, well, who's Sean Connery play? I'm like, he plays a dragon, and the dragon's name is Draco. And she's like, oh, like Draco Malfoy? And as she said that, Felton shows up.
Yeah. I wrote this all down as well.
Right? And it's just like insane, which is funny. His name is Felton in the movie, but the guy who played Draco Malfoy is Tom Felton. It's wow. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's the
we've had a
the
lot of
ultimate Venn diagram of Connery and Harry Potter.
Oh,
yeah.
It blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, that's Lucius Malfoy. Unbelievable. But we'll get to all those details in a moment as we get through this. As always, we always talk about Rotten Tomatoes scores. I'll get through that real quick. Tomato meter has a 50%, but a little better on the audience side, 60% for the audience score.
It's got a 6.4 on IMDb.
I can only imagine the special effects maybe give it a bad rep. I haven't really looked at any reviews.
I'm trying to decide. Do we want to we usually just go by the Wikipedia.
Yeah,
it's a little lengthy, but I think it might help.
Yeah, it's an hour 43, so we could probably get through this at a decent pace.
Yeah. Well, Mario, had you ever seen this film before?
No, I might have seen it when I was a kid because it was like one of those things where I always got this movie mixed up with Neverending Story. Because I thought Connery voiced that creature for some reason. I'm like, no, I knew he voiced some kind of creature. So I didn't really see this fully. But seeing the movie and seeing the dragon, I'm like, okay, I remember some parts of this. So yeah, I think I have seen this as a young child.
I had never seen this before. I looked it up when we were doing the Zero episode.
Yeah.
And saw clips of it from there. And saw the CGI, which we'll get to, because I'd never seen it before. Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was, I think certain things I got, like, we'll talk about it. I got lost in a few different aspects of it. Dennis Quaid is a weird choice. Only because, like, I don't know. We'll get to that, I guess. But
so I guess the director wanted Liam Neeson for this role as Bowen. And you can hear sometimes that Dennis Quaid is kind of doing a Liam Neeson voice.
Yeah, but he loses it a lot. And it just like
his accent is all over the place.
He sounds like Harrison Ford most of the movie.
This movie feels like everybody was not the director's first choice. Even second or third.
Even Connery?
Connery feels like probably the biggest get of the film, and it was circumstantial. Maybe, I'm not sure. Let's see how casting during his time location scouting in Spain. Johnson created the character of Draco. Who is Johnson? Patrick Reed Johnson, who did the story. He shaped it for Sean Connery, a client of Creative Artists Agency at the time, who was Johnson's only choice in mind to voice Draco. Johnson wanted to animalize Connery's voice by giving it a deep, resounding rumbles and make the vocabulary such that it didn't sound quite human, instead of how it's heard in the final film. It wasn't just going to be Sean Connery's voice coming out of the dragon. Okay.
That would have been silly.
Yeah, that would have been weird. Dig this. I'm just reading from the wiki. I have done no prior research on this. But I did. Well, I was reading in the IMDb that's where Liam Neeson's name came up.
Okay.
If you go through the trivia there. But after completion of location scouting, CAA creative artist agency, sent numerous English and Irish actors to meet with Johnson for the Bowen role, including Gabriel Byrne, Timothy Dalton, and Pierce Brosnan.
What?
Yeah. English actresses sent for the part of Kara included Elizabeth Hurley and Patsy Kensit. Johnson then met the up-and-coming Liam Neeson, and the two hit it off, and Johnson noting how Neeson could be both brooding and funny. However, much to Johnson's chagrin, the studio refused to believe Neeson could pull off the action hero role since he had just completed Darkman. They wanted Universal sent the script to actors like Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, and Schwarzenegger as potential Bowen candidates. Studio even suggested Whoopi Goldberg instead of Sean Connery as the voice of the dragon.
Okay.
Other actors considered to replace Neeson were Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson, and Patrick Swayze. Cohen's first choice for Bowen before Dennis Quaid accepted the role. I get Patrick Swayze, excuse me. With the castings of Quaid as Bowen and Meyer as Kara, Johnson said, "I love Dennis Quaid. I love everything he's done. I just don't think he should be in 10th century England any more than Kevin Costner should be in Sherwood Forest." Which is another Sean Connery film we're going to be watching at some point, which I've never seen that one either.
Right.
Have you?
Nope. I'm not.
Not that they weren't enjoyable in their roles. Frankly, I think Dennis Quaid saved the movie as much as it could have been saved. Dennis Quaid just wasn't the right man for the role. Liam Neeson was. And Dinah Meyer, again, 10th century England. Beverly Hills, 10 AD. Bless her heart, she tried. It didn't help that they stuck her in that funny red wig that was constantly changing shape and size. The whole thing just flabbergasted me. So, and Lee Oakes as young Einan greatly hindered Thewlis's performance. Lee Oakes spoke with a thick Northern English accent, forcing Thewlis to mimic the child actor's accent. Anyway, so I just read the entire casting thing on Wikipedia, but it's just really interesting because I think that's a huge reason why this movie is not that great. I liked it. I liked it fine. It was fine, but so much of it could have been better. And I get why. And when you see these casting choices, you understand why.
Man, you get me excited with that Pierce Brosnan and Timothy Dalton talk. Like,
could you imagine either one of them with Connery? None of the Bonds have ever acted together, have they?
I guess not. I don't know. But like, yeah, I'm just thinking of like Pierce Brosnan as Bowen, and maybe Dalton as Enon could be interesting.
Einan? No, because Einan's supposed to be a kid. You'd have to switch them.
Yeah, but you think about the age. How old was he back then?
But you'd have Dalton be the teacher, and you'd have. But it was both of them were in talks for Bowen. That's the thing. Again, with Connery. As the dragon. Connery was always the choice as the dragon.
Yeah, I just want the three of them in a movie just to blow my
So
mind.
do I. That would be amazing.
Like, holy shit.
Somebody with the deepfake stuff out there, please, can we put all the Bonds into a movie? Please, just do it for what it's meant for. That's what people always talk about, how AI is ruining art, but that's the good art that I want to see. Like, I love watching Bridesmaids with like Schwarzenegger and Marty McFly. What's his name? Marty McFly.
Oh,
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
But like, you know what I mean when people deepfakes other actors into roles.
Oh yeah.
Like, do that with like just take Skyfall and put all 6 Bonds into it.
So here, interesting. I just went to go Google to answer that question we had of any James Bonds have worked together.
Yeah.
Apparently, only David Niven and Roger Moore have worked together in The King's Thief in 1955. Those are the only James Bonds that have worked together.
Damn, that doesn't even count.
Yeah, right. It's like, come on.
Yeah, Niven doesn't count. Even though he is the James Bond in that movie, that doesn't count.
Yeah, because
and it was 55. That was before anything had happened. During that year, that was the Barry Nelson Bond.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I'm like even looking at Reddit too, and people are saying the top post is the closest I can think of is Connery working with Ray Fiennes in Avengers, which we've covered.
That's true.
So that's the kind of closest Bond. There's a lot of Bond crossover, but just not James Bond. The character himself, actors have not crossed over because I would love to see I don't know. You think Connery and Moore would have done something, or
yeah, because they were friends.
Yeah, or maybe
you can have Dalton and Brosnan and Craig do something.
Yeah,
all three of them could do something before they died. Lazenby is uncastable in anything.
Yeah. Because Dalton is a chameleon. Because I always forget. I think I recently watched Hot Fuzz, and I forget he's in that. It's that gets me excited. I'm like, oh man, he shows up and does random films, but you could easily cross him over with Pierce somehow, and it works. But
yeah, and they're very similar in age now. Not that they age at different rates, but you know what I mean. They're in the same age bracket now as before. Dalton was definitely an older Bond and Brosnan was a younger Bond.
Yeah.
In that period. But by the time Brosnan was cast, officially the second time, he was old. He was, closer to Dalton's age.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So Pierce is 69 and Dalton is 77.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well that actually would have worked entirely correct because it was 87 to 95, so the ages would have worked out.
Look at that.
He would have been the same age as Dalton would have been. They both would have been Bond at the same age. All right, so let's get into this film.
Let's do it.
All right, Dragonheart, a 1996 fantasy adventure film directed by Rob Cohen. Sir Bowen.
Oh.
Coincidency? An English knight of the old code. More like guidelines, really. Mentors Saxon Prince Einon in his ideals to make him a better king than his father, Frayne. Frayne? While suppressing a peasant rebellion, rebels ambush and kill Frayne. Then a young peasant girl named Kara accidentally wounds Einon's heart. Einon's Celtic mother, Aislinn, has Einon taken before a dragon and asks him to save the boy's life. Wait a second. You think that could be the same dragon?
That what we saw earlier?
No, because this dragon in this movie talks with a Sean Connery accent. And this dragon out here talks with a different Sean Connery accent. It can't be the same.
Yeah.
And I'm sure what I just said there will play nothing into the film that we're discussing.
Yeah. Anyways.
The dragon makes Einon promise to be a just ruler with honor and replaces Einon's wounded heart with half of his own. However, Einon proves more oppressive by enslaving the former rulers that killed his father and forcing them to rebuild a Roman castle. Einon also has Kara's father, who led the insurgents, blinded. Believing the dragon's heart has corrupted Einon, Bowen swears revenge on him and all dragons by hunting them down. 12 years later, Bowen has become a skilled dragon slayer. Meanwhile, Einon, having become a tyrant, has rebuilt his castle. Kara asks that he free her father after years of slavery. Einon agrees, but kills him to release him. Monk and aspiring poet Brother Gilbert witnesses Bowen's prowess at killing dragons and follows him to record his exploits. I'll do one more paragraph here. Bowen stalks a dragon to its cave, not knowing it's the one who shared his heart with Einon. The confrontation ends in a stalemate, during which the dragon states that he is the last one alive. They agree not to kill each other and instead form a partnership to defraud local villagers with staged dragon slayings. Bowen later names the dragon after the Draco constellation, unaware of Draco and Einan's connection, through which they feel each other's pain. All right, I think that's a good spot to pause and discuss.
Okay.
It's covered a good amount of ground there. Okay, so you got some dragon notes, you said?
I got some dragon notes.
Dragon, Dratini, Dragonite, Dragonair, Dragon notes.
And dragon notes, he's the fourth evolution. So a lot of randomness here. I said that, if I look at the character's name, I believe it is Brock. Yeah, B-R-O-K. He's kind of like
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. I said, like, oh, wow, he looks like Edge from the WWE. And to get you to understand that reference, I will show you a picture of what Edge looks like.
Yes, share your screen.
And
I'm on the edge of Brock. Oh, yes, he
And
does
that's-
very much look like him. Is it him?
it looks just like him, so that's made me
It's
laugh.
Brock, Brian Thompson.
No, it's Edge is like, he's a current wrestler right now, so he would be if he was in this movie, he'd be dead probably, because that guy was like,
Whoa, Brian Thompson is the street punk at the beginning of Terminator.
really?
Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right?
Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right?
Nothing clean, right?
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Wow,
That part.
weird. But yes, so Edge, that looks like Edge. A lot of this opening sequence, very much. What?
Sorry to interrupt. You brought up our buddy Andrew Lima earlier.
Yeah,
What was the name of his last record?
it was. What was the last name of his record?
Well, I'll give you a hint because Brian Thompson in 1988 starred in a film. He played the role of Trent Porter in the film Alien Nation.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That's right, it was Alien Nation.
And before he was in a Dragonheart, he was in 1990 he was in a Lionheart.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, Brian
I'm
Thompson.
sorry, what were you saying?
So going back to this opening sequence, I have a lot of notes about the opening sequence. You can match this opening sequence. It's basically almost not shot for shot, but it's very reminiscent of the first sequence of First Night.
I wrote that as well.
You have the sword
Yeah.
fighting, like little. I mean, it's different sword
It's our
stuff.
second film where somebody casually sword fights.
Yep, and then second film where a village is burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Not during the open. Were the credits? There weren't credits rolling, but basically.
Well, the beginning is it's the sword fight at the beginning, where it's he's training, but they I've got it playing here now. So by 3 minutes and 31 seconds, there is a building on fire,
Yep.
and there's credits over it. So hence that great Mel Brooks joke from Prince of Thieves.
Oh, yeah.
Or not Prince of Thieves, from Men in Tights. Excuse me.
There must be another way of doing the credits. That's right. Every time they make a Robin Hood movie, they burn our village down.
I also wrote for the scene of Enan watching his Einan.
Poirot.
Poirot. I was just gonna say Poirot.
Poirot.
Poirot. So
That'll be a shirt.
when Poirot takes off his father's crown, that was very reminiscent of
when he put the little thing on his mustache.
yeah. When he takes the crown off his dying father, it was very reminiscent of Luke Skywalker taking off Vader's helmet in Return of the Jedi. It reminded me of that.
Yes. And then the dad's like, son, and he's like, no, die, give me the crown.
Like, don't touch my
jerk.
crown.
And that's our first clue that Einan is rotten to the core already.
Yeah, he sucks. Yeah, that's my basic, my first kind of notes there, because the next note after that is when we first hear Sean Connery. which I hit him around 10:30. It was like around that time. I kind of missed
10:24. I wrote. I made sure I got the exact time.
Yeah, because the first breath. Because we don't. Cause it's very interesting how they kind of shot this. Because it's like, I mean, you go to Blockbuster or you see the movie poster going to the theater. You assume it's like going to be a dragon, but like I like how they shot it where it's like they don't tell you it's a dragon yet until they, show his hands towards the end, his little claws.
That is the worst first shot to have with. Okay, the first shot of the dragon is the CGI hands.
Yeah.
They could have used, like, animatronics or, like, just, like, a dude with gloves on, you know what I mean? Like,
Are there any
rubber gloves.
Are there animatronics for the dragon in this film?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to look up Dragonheart behind the scenes.
Looks like there were some.
Because some shots the dragon looks good.
As Creature Shop did tests for Draco, ILM did CGI tests for Jurassic Park. Universal believed waiting would be better as the CGI technology could benefit Dragonheart. Additionally, according to Johnson, Universal saw the Creature Shop test footage as the pretext for the final film's quality. The studio went behind his back trying to remove him from the project and give it to an A-list director since Johnson only had one film to his name at the time. What film is that, out of curiosity? Patrick Reed Johnson? What?
Oh yeah, there's a newer Dragonheart, right? Dragonheart Battle for the Heartfire.
Yeah, it's been a franchise. Yeah, okay, it doesn't really say.
They had some. I'm seeing like they had some nice like miniatures, and they had they had Jaws for the scene of Dennis Quaid in his mouth, and they're like for hours sitting there. I'll show you a little picture here. This is kind of cool. That's what they used for that shot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
that
cool.
was definitely real. They created a 5-foot model as reference. I don't want to spend this whole thing reading.
But we'll assume there were some practical dragons, but some
there had to be, because there were shots where people are just like sitting next to his feet. They've got a good amount here, and I should have watched the making of Dragonheart that is on the DVD. I will watch that actually.
Yeah.
I'm very interested how
it's also on YouTube. I'm seeing some on YouTube if anyone's interested as well at home.
The making of Dragonheart. Yeah, I'm gonna watch the making of this.
Yeah.
Oh, right here. I'm sorry. Okay, although Draco is fully CGI rendered, some scenes use full-size models of some of his body parts. One of them was Draco's foot used to pin Bo into the ground, and the other was his jaw. While the foot was a non-moving prop, the jaw had moving parts, and the puppeteer operated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, researching during the podcast. We kind of go into this blind. I think that's part of the curiosity. We go in and we get curious with these films. We go, okay, well, let's find out what we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we shouldn't
dive a bit.
We shouldn't know anything. Like a part of me almost wants to like when we spin for a movie, not even look at the plot. I kind of just want to go in fresh. Like a part of me does want to know, but I think
let's start doing that.
Experiment with that. It's not even like. We'll say that's the movie, and we're gonna like we'll check real quick to like see where it's available, I guess, or we'll have people check at home. But like, yeah, I don't want to like know anything about the movie going in, because this would be hilarious
I like that.
if I was just like, I mean, hearing Dragonheart, you got to assume he's going to be a dragon, but like not really. It could be anything. But like seeing him, hearing his voice in the chamber, you think maybe he's like a wizard or something, and like no, he's a fucking dragon. So yeah, I'd be interested to see some like some surprises.
I would love to see ILM update this. Like give this to an effects house today and have them update the dragon.
I was thinking that, yeah, because like I'm looking at when I was looking at the images, like I'm seeing images of the.
Give it to the Game of Thrones people.
Yeah, but like the Dragonheart, the newer Dragonheart movies, like let's see, the last one I did, a Dragonheart Vengeance in 2020.
I can't imagine a huge budget is given to it.
It looks good.
Yeah, let's see it.
It looks real good. Like the standard, it seems they keep the same design, the kind of four-legged, which you don't really see the four-legged kind of dog type of dragon. It's reminiscent of Spyro, which we were talking about Spyro earlier. We called the dragon earlier Spyro, but it's the 2020 version. That looks okay.
Oh, it doesn't look bad.
That's some good effects. This is 2020, so it's like, it was right before COVID, so it's not like they had like a cut budget or anything. But it looks okay. Dragonheart Vengeance.
Would you watch it?
I would, because I know we discussed talk about we want to see Green Knight.
Yeah.
So I think it would be interesting to see kind of remakes and see. Well, this is a sequel. Are these sequels?
I'm guessing, or prequels. Maybe prequels because it's the last dragon. I'm just gonna shut this window.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. It must be yeah, because that would make sense. It's kind of because technically Draco is the last Jedi, and these prequels are seeing the Jedi alive while the dragon's alive.
Okay. There's a couple of Last Jedi moments in this movie.
Ooh. Okay.
There's one where Draco spits fire at. He spits a bunch of fire at Bowen, and Bowen just stands there as the flames part Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
And then you've got Einan screaming at Bowen "No, we've got to attack more!"
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. So,
yes. Wow, a lot of Star Wars shit there. Look at that.
Well, you pull from what works, right?
Well, I mean, look at me. I found Luke Skywalker in the first 10 minutes. Because you can cross this with even Sword of Valiant, because the young kid looked like what's his name, Sword of Valiant, the same
Sir
kind
Gawain.
of the same kind of He-Man haircut and white robe or whatever you call it, tunic type deal. That's a commentary track. Let's
do a commentary.
Let's do
a commentary. Let's we're doing it. We're doing it. Stay tuned for that, folks.
Yes.
Okay, I made note of two names that I really liked, not just because they're awesome names. So the cinematographer, his name is David Egby. Egby. David Egby. And then one of the producers' names was Hester Hargett. And those are just fun names to me.
Bert Saxby.
Tell him he's fired. Hester Hargett. Tell him he's fired. So after Kara mortally wounds Einan by knocking him into a fucking coat hook.
That shocked me. I was
that
oh
was
my God.
Terrifying. That also I couldn't. I'm glad that they didn't show the wound because that was where I really started wigging out. I don't deal well with that stuff. I was twitching and I'm getting uneasy and kind of nauseous. But I'm glad they didn't really show it. But at about 7:50, I'll share my screen with you here. I made a note that she knocks over a bucket of milk, and it mixes with Einan's blood and creates the Metallica load cover. If it'll play here. There it is.
Oh my God.
And I think that might be because Metallica owns this cave.
I think so.
Hey, Mr. Dragon? Mr. Dragon?
Yes? What were you disturbing me for? I'm playing bringing your dead bodies back from the dead.
We're just curious. Does Metallica own this cave?
No, Metallica rents this cave from me.
Oh.
I'm the landlord. Metallica's just the tenant. I look down on them because I'm Sean Connery. And I look down on men that I don't think are as powerful as me. Though I guess physically I look up because I'm small. I'm a little tiny dragon. Leave me alone. I've got to go play these video games. I mean, bringing these dead bodies back from the dead takes a lot of time.
Carry on, Mr. Dragon.
Goodbye.
Carry on my wayward dragon. There'll be peace inside your wagon. Lay your weary head in a bag and don't you cry no more. Hey!
No.
So the code is really more like guidelines. I said that already. They keep talking about the code, the old code.
Yeah.
Remember today and the difference between battle and butchery. And remember the old code. Then you'll be a greater king than your father.
The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
What other notes do I have? Okay, so at they bring wounded Einan into the cave, and this awesome cave that we're in right now, I think probably, and the Queen Aislinn says, "Brock, stay here," and I went, "Brock, stay here. Rock Pokemon are useless in this fire gym."
Oh, Pokemon reference.
Are rocks useless against fire, right?
I would say useless. Yeah, no, I think rock is powerful against fire.
Oh.
I think.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I haven't played Pokemon in so long.
I actually just dug out my Game Boy, so I'm getting to Brock's gym, so I'll let you know, and then I'll report back.
Let me know. Okay, and we get Sean Connery. His first line is,
"Are the stars shining tonight?"
No bright souls glitter in this darkness.
And that's at 10:24.
And that's also a callback to like one of his last lines. Well, he's like that.
Well,
let's say exactly.
Well, when he says it at the end, it's a callback to the beginning.
"I cannot see. Are the stars shining tonight?"
Brightly, my lord.
So clearly, he and Aislinn have some kind of relationship.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
He's not. They're not sleeping together, but you know what I mean. Maybe they are.
Although there is a scene when Draco is hitting on Kara, basically.
Yes.
That was. Connery is here.
I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
And he tells like Connery to quit it. He like gives him the like stop it thing to the neck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Very, very charming dragon.
Very charming dragon. When Lord Einan shoots Kara's father, is it Kara? Why am I messing it up already?
The redhead, right? Kara.
Yeah.
Dina Meyer.
Yes, Kara. Wow, I forgot it already. She's like that. It's just not a very interesting character. None of the characters are that interesting. Anyway, when Einan shoots Kara's father, did you think that he fell down a well?
Yes. Yeah, I was kind of like,
and he's just on the ground in the next shot.
Yeah.
Especially because they have a bucket of water, hoisted up, too.
Yeah, I thought too. I'm like, where did? I was like, carry on. I thought the same exact thing.
And it also says that in the credits here, Kara's father is played by Terry O'Neill, and the character's name is Redbeard.
Oh, old Redbeard.
And then after Redbeard is shot, Kara is scrambling over his body, and she kind of looks almost like she's gonna look at the camera, and it reminded me of For Your Eyes Only.
Also, a side note, Terry O'Neill, is in 3 Connery films.
Which ones?
Dragonheart, Entrapment, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Hot diggity!
Look at that! I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I thought it was interesting. So obviously, wherever he goes, Connery goes. or vice versa.
An actor and martial artist. Call the Conqueror? Huh. Conan the Destroyer? The Man Who Knew Too Little?
Oh, he's Ishmael in The Extraordinary Gentleman.
I'm excited to watch that one. I don't know why. I mean, I'm kind of dreading it, but I'm also kind of excited.
It's in that, like, that era of, like, I don't know, like, kind of like, what was the other one that came out around that time? DC. Hellboy. It's kind of like Hellboy. It's like you forget what it's like when you saw it as like a young person, but you see it now. And it's like, I think we're going to think of it differently as adults. We'll see.
I've never seen it before.
Oh, you never seen it, so
no.
Yeah, so everyone says like it's trash, it's trash. I'm like, I remember it being fine.
Was that Trump saying that it's trash? It's trash. It's Sean Connery's worst film. I didn't direct it. I had nothing to do with that one. Mr. Trump, I don't think you directed any of Sean Connery's films. You'd be surprised. My next note is Dragon Ski.
Dragon ski.
He goes dragon skiing. He latches on. He has Van Helsing-esque bowlers with a rope connected to him. Or bolas, is that what they are?
Bolas,
yeah. And I like that. It was pretty cool. What did you think of that sequence where he is being dragged? I liked it when he's being dragged through the water. That was good. But when he gets dragged through the woods, it becomes a children's film.
I thought it was hilarious.
I also thought it was hilarious, but continue.
It was very very George the Jungle.
Yes.
When he's like when he's hitting the trees and like he's spitting out the leaves.
Yeah.
Because that, like, this is a different sequence. When he kills the other dragon, like, really quick.
Yeah,
you remember
and you
that
don't
sequence?
see it.
Yeah, that bothered me. But I love the scene of, like, that the dragon is huge flying over, and he stops by who we later find out is
Pete Postlethwaite.
Gilbert.
Brother Gilbert. I love Brother Gilbert. Might be my favorite character in the film.
Same. He has my favorite one-liner in the whole movie.
Which is?
Turn the other cheek, brother.
Yep. Yep.
When he shoots him
in the butt.
Turn the other cheek, brother. But yeah, I had a note saying, quote, "Did you see a massive dragon come through here? He's in an open field. Did you not see the dragon go? Like you lost track of the flying dragon?"
These walls blocked it.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it over the ceiling that's above me.
For going back to the wood scene, I think it's hilarious too because we get some of the best Connery quotes too. "Oh pity, that must have hurt." And then when he like trips up at the end, you hear Connery go, "Yikes."
Pity. That must have hurt. Yeah. Again? And again? How do you like the ride so far? We're earning our money now, aren't we? Now, is there somewhere you would like me to drop you off? Yikes!
Yes.
Which is my favorite thing I think he says in the movie. Next to something else he says later.
I like how he finally catches him. Like, like by attaching the thing to his jacket and attaching his, just throwing his jacket to be caught in a tree.
Yeah.
Like, that was good, even though the jacket probably would have just ripped.
Yeah, but that was insane.
That was a fun sequence, but when he got to the woods, it was just tonally so different from all of the rest of the movie. It was, like you said, it was George of the Jungle in a movie that is, like, it's not First Night serious. It's more like the Jeffrey Irons Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I really thought it was going to have, like, a like, Pete's Dragon vibe. But seeing it's rated PG-13 and then seeing the first sequence where this is like, because even like Alicia thought like, oh, is this like a kid's movie? And I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it tries to be.
There's kind of like some assault in this movie.
Yeah, and very uncomfortable. Thank God it's not Connery this time.
Thank God.
But
at least he's just a flirty dragon.
He's
a horny dragon.
A horny dragon.
He's got 6 horns.
He does. But yeah, it's just like it is interesting. Where like I mean, I like the fun like that of them like becoming buddy, and it's very Shrek and Donkey for a little bit.
Yes.
Or
And
their
then
buddies.
just getting to know each other and understand each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete Postlethwaite is my favorite character in the film. His poetry is fun, and he's the comic relief of the film more than anybody, I think.
He reminded me a lot of, not much, but another Robin Hood Men in Tights. He reminded me of Mel Brooks as the rabbi a little bit.
Locks and bagels. What's not to like?
Yeah. But yeah, he was fun. He was a comic relief. Although, I mean, in some cases, so was Draco in times where he was kind of comic relief, So, which I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, he had some funny parts, for sure, and he did all his lines in 3 days. Connery.
Really?
Yeah. So he was acting against nobody.
So when was? Did they say when they filmed this?
I'm guessing 95.
Because he would be coming off of or filming something else. What would he be doing at that point? Let me look at the list of films.
So 95, he was in Just Cause and First Night. Wow. So
wow.
This is Mario. We have almost. Oh, let me zoom in so I can see it better here. We've almost covered every film. If we get Just Cause, then we'll have seen every one of his films. No, never mind. Okay.
From the 90s?
No. Okay, so we'll at least have a run. So if we get Just Cause, then we'll have a run of Good Man in Africa, Just Cause, First Night, Dragonheart, no, never mind. The Avengers. Never mind. I'm sorry. This logic is all flawed. I'm getting overwhelmed here looking at. We didn't do The Rock. We did The Avengers. We haven't done Playing by Heart. We didn't do Entrapment. So, and then we didn't do. Okay, yeah, we've got a lot left to go in the 90s. I'm sorry. I thought I found a pattern where there was none.
Well, we're making a dent in the 90s, that's for sure.
Though,
that's interesting that he's like, this is around First Night. We have some King Arthur's talk. He mentions King Arthur, so how funny is that?
And John Gielgud voices King Arthur in this movie.
That's interesting.
If you go to the cast, you'll see John Gielgud as the uncredited voice of King Arthur who speaks to Bowen during his visit to Avalon.
Wow.
Yeah, during that little kind of trip sequence there he's having. So, quick side note. On our Connery Curious Google Doc, I have updated it to include our SH rating, our sexiness rating, as well as our film rating and our Sean rating. Now, for a lot of these films, for most of these films, we don't have the SH rating and we don't have the sexy rating. What do you say we do a mini episode where we fill in all these ones and complete this Google Doc? We take a little retrospective back through the ones we've done.
Absolutely.
Because at this point, we've done 15 films. This is film number 15.
Wow.
So we can maybe go, all right, quick pause and go back and re-rank all of these things that we just fill in the blanks and then move forward.
I agree with that. Let's do that.
We don't have to do it now, but
eventually.
Yes. All right. Another note I have is Quaid is a wicked stepdad in this movie. Do you get that vibe? I've had stepdads.
Dennis Quaid's always have dad vibes in general.
No, stepdad vibes.
But stepdad vibes.
Yeah.
Well, explain stepdad vibes for me.
Like, he's got some lessons he's really got to impart on you. But you're still mad that your mom and dad have split up, so you're not going to take those lessons to heart. And you're going to continue to be a dick. And he's going to be like, what? It's the dragons! And he's like, no, it's just your stepkid's a piece of shit, and you maybe shouldn't be in this relationship. You know.
Well, he's just always dad. That's the thing, because like seeing him, because I'm like, cause Alicia said like, where's he from? And I'm like, he's the dad in what do you call it? Day After Tomorrow. He's the dad in, I think, was it Freaky Friday? The Freaky Friday, or no?
Let's
What's
see.
the one
The
with
Parent
the
Trap.
twins? The Parent Trap.
Yes.
Wrong twin movie. Well, no, wrong Lindsay Lohan movie.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa. We are gonna get him in 2 years acting with Sean Connery again in Playing by Heart.
Wow, Dragonheart playing by heart.
Yeah, whoa, Playing by Dragonheart.
Playing by Dragonheart.
Any Given Sunday, is he a dad in that?
I think
The
so.
Day After Tomorrow. In Good Company, he's the dad in that, right?
Yeah,
he's like the dad that Topher Grace is trying to win over. Whoa.
Oh,
What do you
no,
think?
don't.
What do you think Topher Grace is? He's like studying for a role or something? Anyway, what else is he the dad in? Like The Rookie, right? And then a film? Not a film. What's The Rookie?
The Rookie?
Yeah, it's not a movie.
I thought I just saw that. The Rookie.
What's 2002 film? Yeah.
Oh.
With Dennis Quaid, yeah. The Rookie.
Oh, yes, right here.
Yeah.
Jimmy Morris.
Rookie. Rookie.
Yeah.
Rookie. Anyway. Okay. That's enough looking at Dennis Quaid.
His dad roles.
His dad roles. Though we know he has a real son. So. Okay, what other notes do you have?
Let's see. I kind of jump around. Oh, pity. That must have hurt. Yikes. So, yeah, I have a lot of quotes here. So, we did talk about, like, Turn the Other Cheek, Brother is one of my favorite quotes. The oh, pity. That must have hurt. But this is my favorite Connery quote of the entire movie called I mainly chew in defense, but I never swallow.
Eater! Oh, please, yeah.
Aren't we squeamish? You ate Reglamore, hypocrite.
I merely chewed in self-defense, but I never swallowed.
Yep.
Never swallow. And
I have a second note on that. You ready?
Oh, okay.
Do you know who the effects producer of this movie is? John Swallow.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
He's a Spitzer Swallows. Austin Powers reference.
Yes. But yeah, I also wrote down that quote. Yep.
I never swallow.
Nicole watched this movie with me as well, and that one got her cracking up too. Yeah. What else? What else you got? Anything else before I move on with the plot here?
That's about it. Like my notes are kind of light. A lot of quotes and a lot of. I have some thoughts about the end. That's about the next time my notes pop up.
Okay. Yeah, I've got pretty light notes here as well. All right. Kara, seeking revenge on Einan, is imprisoned after a failed assassination attempt. Realizing she is responsible for his near death, Einan tries seducing Kara and making her his queen. Despising what her son has become, Aislinn helps Kara escape the castle. Kara tries to rally her village against Einan, but they sacrifice her to Draco instead. After Draco takes Kara to his lair, Einan arrives to recapture her and fights Bowen. While fighting, Einan demoralizes Bowen by declaring he never believed in the code and only used Bowen to learn how to fight. He gains the upper hand and nearly kills Bowen, but Draco intervenes and reveals his half-heart to Einan, making him flee in fear. Kara asks Bowen to help overthrow Einan, but the disillusioned knight refuses. Bowen reunites with Gilbert at another village while Kara tries exposing Bowen and Draco, appalled by their actions. The villagers don't believe her until after the stage slaying while Draco plays dead. He bolts when the villagers decide to carve him up for meat, revealing the scam. Then they surround Bowen, Kara, and Gilbert, wanting to eat them instead. Draco rescues the trio and takes them to Avalon, where they take shelter among King Arthur and the Knight of the Round Table's tombs. That was a very funny sequence.
I put Looney Tunes landing, where
Yeah.
when he hits his head on the shallow water, that was like a Daffy Duck moment. Just slowly falls down.
Also, with those spikes sticking out of the water, did you think he was impaled by the spikes?
He's a tough cookie, I guess, because he's like armor plated. Because if you notice, like at the end when he like kind of shows his little heart scar, like you have to stab him in that like location. It seems because he's
to
like
open up his chest. That was gnarly.
He's armored or whatever. But I'm surprised he didn't crack his skull. Just going like he's like going like at least 50 miles an hour coming down.
Right.
Bah!
Both Nicole and I were cracking up at both times that he catches the spear. Just too funny.
Me too. And like he's what a
and
worker.
then like disposes of it before he hits the ground too.
Yeah. It's so fun.
Like no one could see that. No one. Hey, the thing that was spiked through him, he just tossed it away, and no chunks of meat were like falling from it either.
Yeah, it's parts like that in this movie made me really enjoy it because I'm like, oh, this is fun. I love how the dragon is like faking like that's their they're wheeling and dealing.
Right, that was very
Camelot
clever.
Or whatever. Like that was so. It's like so. It's so funny. Like him just like waiting on like the hill, be like like get me payment for this.
Now I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh no, it's funny. And did you notice he never breathes fire through his mouth? It's always his nose.
His nose. Yeah, I like that.
Which is interesting.
Also, you're wearing a shirt with like kind of a dragon snake on it.
Oh yeah, it's a big rattlesnake. My Austin 360 snake. But yeah, I wore it because I looked like a dragon, so I was like, it's kind of fun, appropriate.
Now after the 12-year gap, I thought because it's the first time we meet Postlethwaite in the big field, and it's the dragon flying over the field. I thought my brain just went moving, and I'm like, okay, 12 years has passed. He and the dragon have formed an alliance. They're friends now, and they're defrauding people. Are we gonna like get the story of how they became friends? And then we don't see him kill that dragon, so I'm like, okay, yeah, they're running a scam. But no, that was a real killing of the first dragon.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like some of the scenes could have been restructured to, like... I don't know. I feel like if some of it was a little out of order.
I don't think that scene was... like that scene of him killing that random dragon is only used to establish the meeting of him and Brother Gilbert. So like other than that, it's useless. So I kind of felt like it's like can't we just mention like we already know you're a dragon slayer. Do we have to see you kill a random dragon that potentially which they mentioned?
We don't even see it.
We see it fly over the thing, and that
yeah,
was
but
it.
It goes behind the hill, and then you just see like a big plume of smoke, and Dennis Quaid huffs out of there all tired.
Yeah, and they mentioned like again, Connery mentioned it later, where it's like oh, you killed. It was a girl dragon, like she was less my kind, but it made it sound like there could have been something there, like they were like a thing, or like they were very close, or like. But he was kind of like, no, this happened, whatever. But you killed my friend, but we can hustle some people if you'd like.
This movie feels like a lot of lore was cut. So this movie is 147. Well, I'm sorry, 142. Now I'm reading that there was an edit. Editor Peter Amundsen delivered the film's first cut to Cohen with a length of 2 hours and 18 minutes. After going through the reels, they shortened the film to 2 hours and 7 minutes. And then they ended up cutting 20 more minutes, like 25 more minutes. Like, I feel like it needs that stuff. Is there a director's cut?
I hope so, because, yeah, it did feel kind of like weirdly sped up, and there's like some details I didn't understand. Hell, is there a direct remake of this film? Like, there's so many Dragonheart films. Is there a remake of this? I want to see how that's done.
So sequels and prequels. A direct-to-video sequel, Dragonheart: A New Beginning, was released in 2000, followed by 3 prequels. Dragonheart 3: The Sorcerer's Curse in 2015, Dragonheart: Battle for the Heartfire in 2017, and Dragonheart: Vengeance in 2020.
I am curious to see these movies now, just to see.
The Dragonheart Vengeance Wikipedia page, the reception column here has nothing in it. Battle for the Heartfire, reception.
5.3 out of 10 for IMDb scores. 62% for Rotten Tomatoes. And this might have been... Was this straight to video or straight to streaming? This is 2020, so it must have been straight to streaming.
After its release, Dragonheart 3 received mixed but generally positive reception, reviews noting impressive CGI for a direct-to-video release, the film being a vast improvement over Dragonheart 2, and on being on par with the original film. So apparently Dragonheart 3 is as good as the first.
Huh. Okay. Huh. Let's try it out.
It's got any name? Ben Kingsley as Drago the Dragon.
Oh, interesting.
Who voices the dragon in each one? So in Dragonheart 2, the dragon is voiced by Robbie Benson.
Okay.
Who is Beast in the Disney Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
So that's Dragonheart 2. Dragonheart 3 is Ben Kingsley. Dragonheart 4, Battle for the Heartfire, is Patrick Stewart.
What?
Yeah. And Dragonheart Vengeance, the dragon is voiced by Helena Bonham Carter.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. I want to see the Patrick Stewart one.
Battle for the Heartfire.
Battle for the Heartfire.
We may have to. Should we do like a separate, like a Patreon section where we go through the Dragonheart movies, and then we'll do it for the Highlander films too, and we just start torturing ourselves.
I'll say though I think the Hearthfire design for the dragon is the coolest looking one. It's the closest to like the original. It looks like. Beep 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 beep
beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep beep. Whoa, that looks dope as fuck.
I'll say I think that's the best looking.
That looks really cool.
Yeah, that's what it should look like if they this went in and
smile
fixed.
is unnerving.
It is a little weird. I think it's in the middle of talking, but yeah, like that's cool looking.
Yeah,
I'm into that.
I like it.
But let's finish off this dragon.
Yes. Okay. You know what? I'll just finish the plot. We got 3 paragraphs left here, and then we can work our way right through.
Do it.
Draco reveals the truth about himself and Einon. He hoped to change Einon's nature by saving him, reuniting the races of man and dragon, and earning a place in the constellation, the Dragon's Heaven. Draco fears his choice has cost him his soul, and his spirit is doomed to disappear upon death like he never existed. After hearing that Kara and even Gilbert intend to oppose Einon, Draco agrees to help. When a vision of King Arthur reminds him of his knightly honor, Bowen also agrees. Bowen, Kara, and Gilbert, and Draco, organize and train the villagers into a formidable army. They're nearly victorious against Einon's forces when Gilbert strikes Einon in the heart with an arrow. However, Draco, feeling Einon's pain, falls from the sky and is captured. Realizing he is immortal as long as Draco lives, Einon is determined to keep Draco safe. Knowing their connection, Aislinn attempts to kill Draco at his request, but Einon intercepts and kills her. The rebels invade Einan's castle to save Draco. Bowen and Einan duel through the halls, ending with Bowen throwing Einan from atop a tower. While he tries freeing Draco, the dragon begs Bowen to kill him and end Einan's reign. Einan rises and charges toward them, forcing a reluctant Bowen to throw an axe into Draco's exposed half-heart, killing him and Einan, thus ending Einan's reign of terror for good. Draco's body dissipates as his soul joins his fellow dragons to become a new star in the constellation. Gilbert concludes that Bowen and Kara went on to lead the kingdom into an era of justice and peace, with Draco's star shining brighter than ever in troubled times. Okay. We get Sean Connery singing. When he's flirting, he's singing.
Yep.
We always love hearing Connery sing. So I made a note here. Okay. It's the sequence where they're getting away from the cannibal tribe. Dennis Quaid jumps on the horse. Then he lifts Kara from the ground up onto the horse by her torso. And then they lift Pete Postlethwaite onto the horse. Brother Gilbert. And the note I wrote here is, this is how men break their penises, women break their ribs, and horses break their backs.
True.
Yeah. And I'm sure people break their arms, too, as they're hoisted by their arms onto a horse.
That's why I'm terrified to ride a horse. I've ridden one before. And
I'm all set with it.
I don't want to die. I'm all set. I've seen some tragedy.
Well, as we were talking about last week with the hill, that's how
oh, right. What's his name?
Roy Kinnear passed. Yeah. He fell from a horse.
That's right.
And was injured so badly that he died afterwards.
That's right.
Okay, do you think that John Gielgud as King Arthur, do you think this is the same King Arthur from First Night or Sword of the Valiant?
I want to believe that it's from First Night and that his soul went into Draco and Draco is King Arthur. Because Draco doesn't really have that. Draco. The name was given to him by what's his name? By Bowen. Bowen gives him the name Draco.
Yeah.
So in my headcanon, that's the soul of King Arthur inside.
It passed into the dragon.
Yeah. Because how long? How many centuries is that after King Arthur? Is that long?
Not long.
Not super long.
Well, okay, so this takes place in like 982 or something. And then King Arthur, what year is that supposed to take place? Between 500 and... Okay, so he's probably been dead for years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's possible that's King Arthur. Who knows?
Huh.
But I digress.
But no, I like that theory. Theory. And it exists like as a cosmic force that appears to you during trips.
Yeah, why not?
Do you mind if we pause for a Connor P real quick?
Hit it.
Awesome, thank you. Where were we? Okay. My next note was... This is the worst note ever, but I had to make it a cliche. Cliche city, population, this whole movie. And I wrote that at the training sequence where they're like, it's a training montage where they're teaching everyone in the camp, like all the people who don't know how to fight are being taught how to fight. Yeah. And then, of course, Brother Gilbert he's never shot a bow before, but of course his every shot goes to the head or to the dick. He's a natural.
That cliche still happens today. Happened recent, like in recent years. Shang-Chi, talking about priests, Walking Dead, there was like the priest, I forgot his name, I think it was Jacob or something like that, who was just like, oh, I'm a man of God, blah, blah, blah. You're an apocalypse now. You gotta learn how to shoot. And now he's like the most badass character on the show.
I haven't watched any of that show since season 2.
Oh, yeah. It's so much has changed.
Or when, spoilers, when Shane died. That's when I stopped.
Oh, yeah. That's
3?
That's the end of 2, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe, no. 3?
Middle
Might be
of
2.
3 or something?
2 or 3, yeah. It's like around the governor years when the governors start showing up. Yeah, man.
That's where I stopped watching.
Yeah, it just finished up, but like, yeah. Whew,
My old roommate would watch it, and I would tune in every now and then with him, but I wouldn't keep consistent. Excuse me. But yeah, this movie was full of cliches.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I could have made a list of them. I should have made a list. Excuse me. Excuse me. I should have made a list of the cliches, but they were just hitting one after another. And in terms of like, okay, you took this from another movie. Okay, this comes from like 9 movies. Okay, this has been in 100 movies, kind of thing. Like a pudding. They say that twice. I liked that.
Like a pudding.
Like a pudding.
This could cleave a man's skull.
Like a pudding.
Like a pudding.
Lupin hurts Lucius Malfoy. Lupin forces his face down onto like a stone table. Ow.
The worst.
And also, his whole group is just like the worst bunch of fratty rich boys.
Yeah.
My dad owns a boat, and he lets me drive it on the weekends or whatever kind of attitude. Like, all of them. I know that's a weird thing. I'm sorry if your dad owns a boat and he let you drive it. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. But you know what I'm trying to say. I'm also trying to not spend too much time on each point. My next note, Connery, Draco asks Bowen, he's like, what do you see? What do you see happening tomorrow? And Bowen says, it's hard to see that far. And Connery says, what about, you see that camp? And I just wanted Bowen to say, it's hard to see that far. Thewlis is not an ugly man, but man, he can do ugly so well, especially with that stupid helmet on.
Yeah.
It's so like comedically villain ugly, you know, like all right, just be the ugly villain of this movie. He's like, you've got it. He like just mushed his face into the weirdest, ugliest shapes he could make it. So, and David Thewlis, Mr. Thewlis, that is not, I'm not calling you ugly. I'm saying you can play ugly well. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to be drunk to play drunk.
Exactly.
Though it would probably help me from the last episode. I don't know if you heard that. Okay. That whole battle in the field could be cut with Sword of the Valiant. The end battle in the field.
Yep.
And I made a note of how brilliant a strategist Einan is. Listen to this brilliant war strategy. Scatter or die.
Scatter or die! Scatter or die!
Brilliant. And then ultimately, when that doesn't work, retreat!
Retreat! Retreat! Retreat! Return to the castle! Retreat!
Oh no! Who would have thought scatter or die would not motivate the troops properly?
You could mix a Monty Python with that.
Right.
Is that Holy Grail? Run away!
Yeah.
You could put a lot of Monty Python in this.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. You honestly, let's do that.
Yeah. Holy
Let's
Grail.
Cut a Holy Grail into as much of this as possible. Pete Punzelthwaite is what I wrote when you said you liked the turn the other cheek line.
Turn the other cheek, brother.
Okay, my next note here. Have you ever heard of the Disney show So Weird?
Don't think so.
Okay, Nicole has been watching it, and I've kind of gotten obsessed with it. It's really good. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, this is 1999.
Yeah.
Have I seen this
with
before?
Mackenzie Phillips?
Oh, yeah.
So it's basically X-Files for kids, and their parent is a rock star, so they go on tour.
Okay.
It's kind of awesome. Like one of the episodes was so good it made me cry.
Oh my god!
Like genuinely incredible. This and some of them are genuinely scary too, like really scary. And especially if you were like, 7 or 8 watching this, you'd peed your pants. Your parents wouldn't have let you watch it. It would have been like not you, but you know what I mean, like a general.
Yeah, looks like I think I might have seen this somewhere. Cause like this is like the Disney Channel like alumni here. You got what's his name from Brink, Eric Von Detten. Yeah, I
and Dave Squatch Ward, the best name ever. Like it's almost like not real. Like it's a sitcom character playing a sitcom character.
Oh, he was in Smallville.
Really? As who? It's Dave Squatch Ward.
Luther Corp worker.
Damn. It's me, Mr. Luther.
And he was in Snow Dogs as taxi driver.
Are you talking to me?
We'll have to check that out. So
he also sounds like Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. The cream of the crop.
He really does. Listen to him.
It went great. Actually, it went better than great.
We're going to watch that. Next time I come over, we'll watch an episode of So Weird.
Yeah, it's really good. So my note on that is at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 23 seconds, Connery says, "Even in the darkness, there is still light."
Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore.
Well,
that's what I put in my notes.
Just the theme song for So Weird. Look up the theme song for So Weird. Just click on it.
For a time when mankind would not repeat my mistake and let tyranny thrive. When there would be those who remember the once ways, remember that even in the darkness there is still light.
Demons come from every side. In the darkness is the light. Out of the shadows of my life. In the darkness is the light. In the darkness is the light.
Darkness is the light. Out of the shadows of my life. The darkness is the light. Surrender. We'll win the fight. Meow. That's right.
In the darkness is the light.
Oh yeah, I remember the show. Oh yeah, Dave Squatch, brother.
Oh yeah. So as soon as Connery said that line, both of us were like, "In the darkness is the light."
Oh, we should put that. We should make it.
I'm gonna edit it.
The introduction, the intro with all the credits, but have it be like Sean Connery as
Draco.
With the same fonts.
And there's an episode with a dragon too.
Perfect.
So, all right, I've got one more note. Technically two, but one of them was connected to a last note. It was the FX producer was John Swallow.
John Swallow.
I didn't see that till the end, but I rewound when Einan and Bowen are sword fighting, in this cave castle full of fire, I took my phone out and I pulled up Battle of the Heroes by John Williams. Can somebody please put lightsabers on their duel? Because it is literally a student and a teacher dueling each other. And they're in a fiery location. And there's a part where, like, Einan has Bowen down like Anakin has Obi-Wan down. And Bowen, like, flips him down the stairs. And it's very reminiscent of the Revenge of the Sith fight.
That's right.
So, can somebody please, if any listener out there has access to this, please
We'll contact us and we'll send you the clips.
Yeah.
I remember I tried learning when we were in New England Tech. Like, I tried doing the lightsaber. And it's tedious. It's a lot of work.
Well, but also that was 10 years ago. I'm sure we could do it on our own. Yeah. And I'll recut the score so that I'll recut it so with Battle of the Heroes. We can do this. I think we can do it.
Let's try it.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
Hell yeah.
Bowen and Ikainen. Anainen and Bowen. Kind of works.
It does kind of work.
Yeah.
But
so I think so we get to the end of the film. He kills Bowen throws the axe at Draco's heart and kills both he and Einan. And then another Star Wars connection. Draco just force ghosts right out of there.
Yes.
He Yodas into a gas cloud that killed everyone. It was toxic gas.
Yep.
Everyone was just standing there breathing it in, and it didn't kill them instantly. It like gave them cancer years down the line, and like made everyone sterile. Like, whoa, our village is saved and doomed.
But yeah.
So it brings us to the end of the movie.
That's it. Yeah.
Also, the last thing here is that Gilbert concludes that Bowen and Cara went on to lead the kingdom into an era of justice and peace, with Draco's star shining brighter than ever in troubled times. Does that last line not feel like we had to cut 40 minutes from this movie and it all wrapped up okay, don't you worry? So just slap a narration at the end because we had to cut so goddamn much.
Yeah, because I mean that works as like a sequel if you just have like his reign and like is a scene in like the movie where he's like down on his luck and he looks up and he sees Draco's star shining and that makes him come back in the second act. It's like, all right, let's do this. But instead we had to cut about 40 minutes of the movie. Yeah. I would have been happy with 2 hours 30. Give me a little more.
Well, maybe I would take the 2 hour 7 cut. I would take 22 more minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I just need more context. I just need more. I like to explain the dragons, but it's just I don't know. Maybe they did it better in these sequels. We'll see.
But that ending narration from Postlethwaite, it would be like if at the end of First Night, Richard Gere does a voiceover narration as Connery's body is floating away, and it's like, and the whole kingdom lived in peace and happiness under Lancelot's rule. That's me.
It's like the narration at the end of How I Met Your Mother.
You're right.
Just like, and that's how I met your mother, and that's how I met King Arthur.
One night when I was tripping balls.
But all right.
So that gets us to the end of it.
That's Dragonheart.
That's Dragonheart. Mario, did you like this film?
I did. Yeah. I thought it was fine. Would I watch it again?
Yeah, would you watch it again?
Maybe. If I'm in the mood. Like, I don't know what would be the mood for this, but I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't displeased with it. I wasn't like upset. It was just like, it was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's not bad.
I'll rewatch it to pull clips.
Same.
and to do this lightsaber edit.
Yes.
I'm sorry to ask again, but I must Connor pee before we do our ratings. Is that okay?
Hit it.
Thank you. My bladder is active today.
Uh-oh.
I'll be right back.
You got it.
Nicole's got So Weird pulled up right now on the TV, ready to watch it.
Let's go.
All right, so
So
I
I
gotta
guess-
find a way to come out to get out of this cave and clear our names too.
I know.
All right, so shall we get into our ratings?
Let's get into our ratings. As you guys at home know, we do our now
Well, we
it's,
do
it's
four
it's-
ratings.
Yeah, it's multiple ratings now. But our two main ones are the movie itself, and of course the man himself, Sean Connery, and of course we do the is it sexy? Does the SH?
So let's do those two first. So
Let's do
Mario
those.
does the SH. What's the SH rating? Does Sean Connery's S's become Eshish?
I think it's like at a 6 because his performances when he's doing like a medieval kind of film, he does have a more like very Shakespearean way of performance, and like he really does not lean on the SH.
No,
but it definitely catches on like the word swallow had a H in
It
there
did.
for sure.
But I never swallowed.
So yeah, I think it's at a 6. It's there, but his long monologues are very clear. 'Cause that's the thing. This is our first movie where you're hearing just his voice. So I think it's like a different performance when you're just you're on a microphone, and the same thing with like the From Rush with Love game, which is something we got to cover at some point.
Yes,
Like
let's do that.
We'll record a playthrough or something. But yeah, it's interesting. It's a different vibe. So I think he's watching his SH when he's recording. So I give it a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
Which gives an average of 6.5. Because I agree, it's thick, but it's not like you can't cut it with a knife thick. All right, so move on to the sexy rating.
well, I mean, I really can't. I'll give him.
Let's do the movie as a whole, because to just go to First Night, which is the one we did it's in our chronology before this. You know what I mean? It's the one he did before this. That's a pretty sexy movie. You got all three of the leads are pretty damn attractive.
He is daddy in that movie.
Yeah, he is. All right, well, while we're here, let's fill that one in. What are we giving the sexy rating of First Night?
9.5.
9.5. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 as well.
He's what Pedro Pascal is to us now in First
Right?
Night. He's just right there.
And then Richard Gere and Julia Ormond are very sexy as well.
So this one, he's a frickin' dragon. So I'm not going to give him I'll probably give him a 5 only because of the little flirt in that one scene and the singing. The singing was very charming. So I'll give him like a 5.
All right. You've convinced me because the singing was a little bit sexy.
Yes.
I had put the sexy rating at a 0.
But he saves it with he has a very good voice. He can't deny his voice. So even his voice will save him.
All right, so I'm going to give it a 2 on the sexy scale because 1 for Connery flirting and having a cool singing voice, which also it's a goofy singing voice.
You have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. We dragons love to sing when we're happy.
Punch that in. But I'll also give 1 point because Dennis Quaid is attractive.
Okay. Dennis Quaid
His voice is an instant turnoff, but he is a very attractive man in this film.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give it a 2 in the sexy rating, which if Sean Connery was like he's got to pull most of the weight of the sexiness.
Yes.
Like other people only get like 1 or 2 sexy points unless they're like drop dead sexy the whole movie. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, sorry. Just make sure I didn't stop my recording. Okay. All right, so that gives it an average sexy rating of 3.5. So should we do our film rating or our Sean rating first?
Film first.
Okay. What are you giving it?
think I'm going to give it like a 7. I'm just like, it wasn't
7?
like, yeah, it's just like, it wasn't like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. 7's like my average, kind of like, it's fine. It wasn't terrible. You know, semi-bad CG aside, you know, like there's moments where it looks great, moments where it looks terrible. Him coming out of the water, like,
yeah,
that
didn't
looks
look
really
great.
bad.
Well, it's because of the water. Like, so on the subject of the CGI, we didn't talk about that. The dragon looks fucking great. It just doesn't blend well with everything around it, and it's very apparent. Like it needs like one more pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The whole thing needs one more revision.
Absolutely.
And that's the real reason the effect doesn't work, because it doesn't blend.
So if I want someone to edit that and like just clean it up a little bit. And then
get like Corridor Crew to do it or something.
Yeah, it has potential. Absolutely.
Yeah. So would you watch it again? Would you show it to someone?
So yeah, I think I would show it to somebody. It's just like I wouldn't know who. Can't show kids really. I mean, teenagers maybe. I don't know.
Okay, of the fantasy films that we've watched so far, we've got First Night, Sword of the Valiant, which were right after each other, 2 King Arthur films right after each other, and Dragonheart, which is the best.
Sword of the Valiant.
Yeah.
That's the one I want to show everybody.
Yes, same. I'd say First Night's the best of the 3, like in terms of actual film quality.
Yeah, for being serious, First Night's the best.
Yeah,
But
Sword of the Valiant is the most fun.
Sword of the Valiant is like Cannonball Run, where I want to show everybody Cannonball Run.
I just want to show. Let's do a public screening of Sword of the Valiant or something.
We should.
And just like do it at a like a bar that could hold that or something. Like the Galactic Theater.
Ooh, you think they would let us do it?
Totally.
Oh, let's ask.
Yeah. Okay. I just had an idea, Mario.
Uh-oh.
This movie. Okay, so this is a quick sidetrack. Next door to me is a big building with a big parking lot. And the guy who owns the building runs a screen printing business in there. And he's been holding concerts both inside and outside, in the parking lot and in the building. And he's friends with this jazz band called Quantum Moon. And back in October, they did a screening of Nosferatu. And the jazz band Quantum Moon played an impromptu soundtrack to, like half of it was written and half of it was improvised, to Nosferatu.
Ooh.
So it was live jazz to a silent movie. Let's take this movie, put it on silent, or Sword of the Valiant, but I think this one might work better, and do a live heavy metal score.
Oh my God. I'm in.
Right?
I'm in.
Just based on the power metal connection there.
Yeah.
And then Sword of the Valiant might work as well for that. First Night being the best film probably would work the least well with the heavy metal music paired to it all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yes.
So, all right, my film rating, I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to give it a 6, but you always find a way to like talk me up to a higher rating, so I'm going a 6.5.
I'm a Hufflepuff. I always find the good in everything.
I was rejected from Hogwarts.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not. I ain't got it. I just ain't got it.
It's Ilvermorny. Ilvermorny is the American school, so maybe you can get in there.
I got kicked out of there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, anyways. So let's go to our Connery rating.
Alrighty. So that's an average of 6.75 for the film.
Nice.
Also, I like that we're keeping track of this because then we can sort them and see like how, like what average wise is the best film.
Yeah, at the end, which film wins like the competition of best Connery film?
Yeah. Well, all right. So we get to our Sean rating. What are you giving Sean?
So yeah, it's weird to give points to just a voice, but at the same time, Because I always wonder, because like I was always watching the face to see if they like kind of animated his face like into it a little bit. Sometimes they do like the mocap, but I don't
They
know
didn't
how.
do that, but they used reference photos of him.
Okay, so that makes it a little. Because I was like trying to find the Connery in the creature.
It did kind of look like him
A little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
like when Connery has a curious face, you can see that in the dragon. You know what I mean?
So I think
like Connery's kind of like up swooping face when he's like,
yeah.
You can see that in the dragon.
So I think I'm going to rewatch just to find Connery's face in the dragon. So yeah, I think that being said, I think he's good. I give him an 8.5.
Yeah?
8.5.
All right. I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay.
Which gives him an average of 8.25. I'm giving him an 8 because he did this in 3 days, and he did a really damn good job.
He didn't sound like he was phoning it in. He was
no, not at all. He sounded
great.
like he was having a really good time doing this. Obviously, the CGI of the dragon is not even remotely connected to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a 10. But for doing a voice role, 8 out of 10. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I like it. I liked him in it.
Alrighty. So with that being said,
yeah. Oh boy, whose turn is it this week?
I'm gonna give it to you.
We both did it last week.
We did it together last week, but I think
we
this
literally
week,
clicked the mouse at the same time.
So
that damn mouse.
I think
before
this
it died.
Yes, this week is you.
Alrighty.
So you guys know at the end of each episode, we go over to wheelofnames.com and spin the wheel of curiosities to choose our next Connery film.
Shuffle.
And
we're gonna go into this one blind too, unless we know the film. We're just gonna look at it and be like, okay, this is the film and this is the year. We'll see you next week.
And we're gonna sign off, and that's it.
Alrighty, sounds good to me. Go into it blind.
All right.
Though, quick note, I was going through the list here, and some of them, like the Dream Factory, 1975's The Dream Factory, I can't find it anywhere. Like at all. And España Campo de Golf, really hard to find. So some of these ones that may be hard to find, I think worth looking. I think at the very least, we should say this is the film, this is the year, and just do a quick search to see if it's impossible to find, and we may need to spin again.
Okay.
Just because I was just looking through them, I'm like, there's no links out of here, and I had to search for them elsewhere, and
which I think we discussed, like, behind the scenes when putting this podcast together, we said there were a few that we like just couldn't find.
Yeah.
So that's gonna happen sometimes. But if there's ever, and if we have people out there that are listening, like around the world, who might have a copy of that film, let us know. Send it over to give us an email at connerycurious@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram. Seems like the best way to get in touch with us as well. Try to find us somewhere and let us know if you have some of these films. But I have a good feeling we're going to hit something fun.
Yeah, me too. And what are we going to hit that on? The Wheel of Curiosity. The Wind and the Lion.
Okay.
The Wind and the Lion.
I'm not going to look
let's
at
see. I have the DVD of it.
Okay.
Let's just see what year. 1975, The Wind and the Lion, and it was the film he did right before The Man Who Would Be King.
Wow.
Cool. That's just going from our list. So I'm not reading any more about it. The Wind and the Lion.
The only thing I'm not going to look at the left. I'm just going to look and tell you guys that it's on Prime. You guys can rent it for $3.99. It's apparently on Hulu Premium, Sling TV, and YouTube for $3.99. So go rent it on Prime if you guys can't find it at your local library.
Yeah, you pretty much covered it. And it's on. If anyone has the Turner Classic Movies app, it seems like it's streaming on there as well.
Ooh, okay.
So
there it is.
Hell yeah. The Wind and the Lion. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I'm sorry, I'm going to say another thing. Mulai Ahmed Raisuni is the character that he's playing. So it's our second film where he's playing an Arab.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Again, just going from a list. I'm not looking at any details of the film. I'm literally just going from our Connery Curious Google Doc.
Okay.
So.
All right.
All righty.
So I think
The Wind and the Lion.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for us here this week.
Oh, shoot. We still got to get out of this cave. Mr. Connery Dragon, sir? Sir?
Yes, what do you want?
Mario and I were hoping to leave this cave and clear our good names. Did you happen to revive those dead bodies?
Yes, here, take them.
Oh, hello.
Yes, hello. Hey, that one sounds like me. Hey, that little dragon man sounds like me.
I'm so confused.
Where's my trolley?
All right, guys.
Oh, we'll get you a new trolley, Sally. I've got to adopt this little dragon.
Guys, we need to know who murdered you guys.
I had a heart attack.
Oh.
And then I cut my own head off.
Oh.
While having a heart attack. I like to do that. It's fun. No, of course not. I didn't do that. Somebody murdered me. I don't know who. They did it from behind.
Well, then who was it?
I'm not sure who murdered me either. I was just pushing my trolley, and I turned around, and I was about to say anything from the trolley, and that was it. That's the last I remember.
Anyways, enough of you.
Let me rack my brain. She's useless. She's had too many sweets from the trolley.
So
yes.
you seem to know who murdered you. Who murdered you guys?
Well, let me think back. Yes, please give us the answer. We need to clear our good name.
Let me think, dear boy. Let me think. Oh, look at this cute little dragon. He's so adorable.
Sir, we need to know.
I'm tense.
Sir, please focus. We need you to tell us who murdered you because they're accusing us. We just had to escape from a military prison and drag your dead bodies many miles into this cave to be resurrected by a dragon. Okay? Now you tell us who on that plane train murdered you.
Ah, yes. Now I know. I know now. Come to me, little dragon. We've got to tell them.
Who is it?
After carefully pondering the evidence, my pet dragon and I have come to the conclusion. Yes, he's my. Don't you hear his voice? Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I think your partner here had another note on the movie real quick before you go.
Yeah, I did. How did you know that, Sean Connery? I did. I had another note on that. How does Dennis Quaid not recognize the voice of the dragon?
That's not the same thing.
He's in a cave and you...
Oh, you're the one.
Do they all just sound like Sean Connery? All the dragons sound like Sean Connery? Or distinguished British actors?
I'm not British.
You know what I'm saying.
Anyways, get
Yeah,
back to
who
who murdered you.
All right, well, carefully pondering and examining all the evidence presented before me, little dragon Sean and I have come to the conclusion that the murderer is...
Connery Curious!
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on social media for updates, memes, and clips. Find us on Twitter at CuriousPod007 and on Instagram at Connery Curious. You can also visit Titus Compositions at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion and content about your favorite films, comics, games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit Friggin' Nerds Media on Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach the other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us, and have a great day, but also, remember, stay curious.
Have you thought beyond tomorrow?
It's hard to see that far.
Look at the camp. What do you see?
It's hard to see that far.